Cheers, good people. It's Paxton from behind the drum kit. Today we have a very special group of guests. Ladies and gentlemen, the Brown Goose.
Yo. What up? What's up?
Barry, Mike, Gio, Jonathan, how we doing today? Yo, guys, we're at Chamaco's last night. I saw you for like an hour. How'd the rest of it go?
Oh, it's great.
Super awesome, yeah.
Most times at, make sure you get up on the mics too. Most times at Chamaco's, especially here on Tybee, there's so much walk-by traffic. If anyone hears anything, you're at least going to get someone to approach.
Right.
And be like, hey, what's happening here? And most likely those people are like, oh, fuck, man, there's music here. Let's hang out for a little bit. So it's like it's better than being inside of a bar and being like the only people you have are the people that are inside, and no one's going to hear you while they're walking down the street. But at the same time, playing in the afternoon in sweltering Savannah, Georgia, it's a bit hot.
It's a bit warm,
Especially for drums.
Especially loading in and out drums and playing the drums.
Exactly.
But other than that, like, you can kind of forget about how bad you're sweating if the crowd's good, I imagine.
For sure.
Yeah. And was that the first time you guys played at Chamaco's?
This is our second time playing at Chamaco's.
At Chamaco's?
Yeah.
So you had booked
It's
there
actually
before.
our third time playing at Chamaco's.
Oh, no, really?
Oh, correction.
So you guys are in Savannah a lot, though, right?
Yes.
So
I don't remember the first time.
that's probably a good thing. Right?
Just kidding.
Savannah's like the New Orleans of the Southeast, I guess.
Yeah.
People. It's a drinking village with a fishing problem, sort of thing. Especially
That's a
Tybee.
good problem to have, though.
Yeah, exactly. And it's got a really great music scene. But so you guys are from Tallahassee.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Is there more than just like, I know it's a college town, but is the music scene really college centric? Like the only bars are for college people, or is there a local music-ish scene of people coming out of there?
Both.
Both?
Say.
Yeah.
But do you guys play mostly the college places or the?
It's a mixture.
We play a mixture, yeah.
Yeah.
We even do like some acoustic stuff at restaurants and stuff in town a lot. Like, well, I guess that's literally what we did last night. Not acoustic, but played. In a
Yeah.
restaurant.
Well, that's good. At least there's like gigs to play that aren't necessarily,
There's actually a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say because especially like I've only been to Tallahassee like once or twice, but when I lived in Athens, like every other bar booked music, which was
Right.
great.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
Because some would just do acoustic and some would just do bands. They'd be like, no, if you're not acoustic, you can only be a band.
Yeah.
So it's good to have both. But and then you guys met in Tallahassee.
Yes.
Did you grow up there?
I didn't.
Me and Mike did.
Okay.
Me and Mike were born and raised there.
Okay, so being and it's mostly college town, like growing up in a college town, being a musician, like what's the dynamic? Or
It was kind of.
It's cool. I guess you're exposed to a lot at a young age, as far as like a melting pot of people, and also you're exposed to like I feel like being in such close proximity to somewhere like Florida State, you're exposed to like mischievous things as like a high schooler,
Sure, yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. It's sort of like the drinking age in Poland's like 16.
Right.
So once you're exposed to all that shit early, you're not such a crazy adult because you've already
So
seen,
true.
and you've seen the jackassery.
Yes.
The jackassery of people. You're like, I don't want to be like that. So as a musician, college kids coming in and out, I'm sure there's some talented like people coming to attend the college, but maybe you have 4 years with them to like get a band going. Is that a trope there? Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
have you
and
guys gone
definitely
through
happens.
members before, like
Yeah,
in other bands?
Yep.
For sure,
Yeah.
definitely. Just for the college reason, and then sometimes like you'll find like there will be like I don't know. There's always at least one band of kids that was that started the band in college and they did their 4 years and now they're just kind of hanging around Tallahassee for like 4 more years, still trying to play in bands, and then a lot of times you'll see them like move to like Nashville or
New
Atlanta, New York, whatever.
Oh, so that's like jumping off point.
Sort of
them.
for some. Like there's always like one band kind of doing something like that. Yeah.
Well, in Athens, it was like kids would just go to college for 7 years and still
Yeah.
try, and they're still playing like because especially
There's that too. Talent.
well, especially being a band in a college town, your audience can grow a little quicker than say if you were just in a normal town because you have so many people coming and going back to wherever
Correct.
they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you have you noticed that like we've traveled to North Carolina and someone that had been to Tallahassee or whatever that had seen us before was like, hey,
Not as well. Sometimes, mostly those are like friends and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I guess. Well, I guess like in the beginning, like all your fans are your friends.
sure,
you know,
yeah. You and your girlfriends and their
yeah,
friends.
all those things. Yeah, but like we actually have that happen from Savannah a lot.
Fuck yeah.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like we'll go to a place and they're like, "Oh, we saw you guys in Savannah. We're playing in next weekend. We're playing in the Hummingbird stage in Macon, Georgia."
Oh, word.
And
Fuck yeah.
we've never been there. The dude that books there hit us up. He's like, "I saw you guys play at the Barrel House in Savannah." He's like,
And that's the thing about the
Yeah.
Savannah music scene, especially. It's weird. There's a lot of great musicians that come here, and there's a lot of great musicians that live here.
"Yes."
There's a lot of gigs, but in Savannah, it's kind of rare that people go out and see music because every bar has a band in it most times. So if you can get people to come see you, it's almost like a benefit if you're from out of town because they're like, oh, a new flavor, let's go see these guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And this will go out after you've already played the gig. Congratulations, you guys killed it at the Social and the Barrel House. But you guys are playing Barrel House and Social tonight.
Yeah.
And so Vinny, one of my partners on the other podcast, so you guys are staying with him, and he booked you guys for Social.
Yes.
Social, yeah.
And so this is like your 5th trip to Savannah, probably?
I feel like it's
Or
even
maybe
more than that.
And that we've been coming here like
Maybe 10 times.
like several times a year since
Oh, that's great.
the very end of 2017, like was like December 29th, 2017 was like the first time that we ever came here.
And how long have you guys been together as a group in this iteration?
I think it's going
This
on
one?
4 years.
It's going on 5 years.
5
It'll be
years.
5 years in November.
So that was pretty much soon
Right
after you
after-
started.
yeah.
That's great, though.
right after they joined.
And
us,
especially
so-
you book one good gig in a town that loves music. All of a sudden you're going to get more because,
Yeah.
now you're at Huckapoo's, Chamacos, fucking
Yeah.
Barrel House and all that. Ryan Blakewood. That's right. You guys are at Barrel House tonight, right?
Yep,
Correct, yeah.
tonight, yeah.
So the first time you came, what was the impetus? What got you here in the first place? Were you passing through and looking for a gig?
Huckapoos?
Well, oh shoot, I guess we did play. I guess we played the Barrel House first, but
Really?
the very first time we were working with these our friends that wanted to be booking agents.
Yeah.
And so we were the first band. They're no longer doing it, but they did a really good
Oh,
job.
so
for
you
a
were their
while.
first client as them being a booking
agent,
service,
yes.
whatever? Gotcha.
And then I don't know how exactly they got hooked up with Airbound Entertainment that books the Barrel House, but
Okay.
they got in touch with that guy. We got the show.
He's like, hey, I got one client. You want? Like,
Yeah.
I'm stopping here.
So we came through and we played that show. That was really fun. And actually, our ex-bass player from Tallahassee was living up here in Savannah at the
Oh, no
time.
shit. Okay, yeah.
We stayed with him. He came out to the show. But the real pinnacle time, the first time we played at Huckapoo's,
Yeah.
that December 29th or whatever,
Right.
it was like leading up to New Year's. And we were on this little run. And that was like, we met Vinny.
Yep.
And just the whole vibe of
Oh, I guess
like,
so. Yeah, because
yeah.
Huckapoo's is the Tybee culmination of all the Savannians.
Yeah.
If they're going to come to one place down here, it's going to be Huckapoo's.
Huckapoo's,
And Vinny
yeah.
used to work there as well.
Yeah,
and
he
I
was-
I
he was
worked
working there at
too.
the time, I'm
Oh, he
pretty
was. Oh,
sure,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You
Yeah, I
did
forget.
too,
He's
right?
on. Yeah, huh?
You did too, right?
No, I still work there.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Okay,
cool.
okay, cool.
Yeah, I forgot he hadn't worked there for like a year now, but he did used to work there.
Yeah.
Seems weird.
Um, so
And he
coming,
sings with us sometimes.
oh yeah, well he
Mr. Brightside.
always looks forward to it. He's like, can't wait to sing with them boys. So last night at Chamacos, I get there and there is a breadth of coverage that you guys do, like Hold the Line to, and then I saw her face. Like there's a. So is there a sort of like if you're not in your hometown where people know you really well, what's your percentage of cover to original that you feel like you have to hit to keep the pussies wet?
Well, I feel like we'll lean cover heavy in a place that like nobody knows us,
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
we've
saying.
never
Especially like at
been or
Chamacos last
something.
night.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of like 55-year-olds.
You have to
Yeah.
fill out the vibe, see if they want original
You got to
music
read the
or-
room.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Very
think we ended
much.
up playing like 3 or 4 last night total.
Yeah. 3 or 4 originals.
Well,
Yeah.
there's
So
the
that's
trope
like-
of like you lube them up with,
Right.
with something that they
Right,
know.
right.
Exactly.
And then you
Foreplay.
just sort of inject
Foreplay.
that original in. And
Exactly.
then they won't even think about it. They're like, oh,
Right.
what was that? I liked it.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's like 90%
Give me more.
probably, right?
Yeah.
You
Or
get it-
90%
you get 'em
covers to
excited.
10%
Yeah,
original.
exactly.
And then you're like, oh yeah, you like that? You want to hear
Yeah,
original?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, try a little bit of
Follow
this.
us.
I'll give you the first one for free.
Yeah.
Right.
So what about so you're playing Barrel House tonight, Social Club tonight. Obviously you got to read the room, but there's probably a little more space for you to do your originals with a
Yeah.
little more freedom and no fear.
Right.
Because it's younger people. They just want to rock.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're there to see music, not necessarily there to like
Yeah.
have
Particular-
tacos and then
yeah.
get played
Right,
at.
yeah.
You know, like-
They're not like,
Play that.
excuse me, I can't hear my taco right now.
exactly. Yeah. You got to trick people into hearing your original
That's
stuff.
what I mean. Sometimes the band that I came up with here in Savannah, I mean, we were 90% covers for the first year.
Yeah.
We had original songs, but like no one gave a shit. You know what I mean? So, but as being hometowners, being townies, it didn't take us long to go around 50-50 or whatever.
Nice.
But every time we went out of town,
Yeah.
it was like that. We were 80%.
Totally.
Yeah.
You have to be sort of.
Yeah.
So like, it kind of. I mean, it hurts the soul just a little bit because especially if you write music,
Right.
you're like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But so it's not that disheartening though if you come to a place like Savannah and you're able to play them. Do you get good responses from the younger crowd for original stuff?
Oh, yeah.
It happen, yeah.
Especially
Usually from every age,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest.
Like, even like, like last night, like some, like older people came up to us. I really liked you guys' original music.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it was like a pop punk tune practically.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah.
Well, see, especially in Savannah, there's so much like parody of like so many different styles of music. Like more people are
Yeah.
more attuned to listening to something a little out of their comfort zone. But your guys' original stuff, as I was listening to it, like it spans. I mean, there's one of the songs we're gonna play at the breaks. It opens with double kick right
Nice.
away.
Yeah,
Sergeant
yeah.
Mike.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mike Murphy.
Yep.
Mike Murphy.
That's
Yeah.
it.
But then there's some that's like got a little like reggae-ish vibe to it.
yeah.
What do you go after in terms of like the Brown Goose song? And is it a collaborative writing thing, or does someone bring
Yes.
in an idea and then the rest of the people flesh it out?
It's both.
It's kind
right?
of both. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like someone will have like some sort of like, chord progression and maybe some words and stuff like that. And then it'll be like, I got this little thing, and then everybody else will kind of.
And someone else hears it and like, I have a guitar part for this.
Yeah,
I've got a drum
exactly.
part for this.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, that's a beautiful thing because there's a lot of groups where it's like if people can feel like they don't have ownership over something, if there's a guy writing everything and they're like,
Right.
what should I play on guitar?
Yeah.
Instead of being like, hey, I've got a guitar part for this or I've got a
Right.
bass part for this. And you guys switch instruments around.
A little bit.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
just the strings, really. Well, unless our keyboard player's here, because he can play everything. He'll play the drums, sing.
No shit, yeah.
Yeah.
If you give him like a kazoo,
Yeah,
he'll
right.
probably
He first
murder
shred
it.
it.
Yeah.
We'll go ham.
Sometimes
melodica
Barry,
for sure.
sometimes
Oh, yeah.
Barry just drops the instrument altogether and will
Yeah,
jump
so I
up
saw
on a
you
bar or
around
something.
You
and-
guys
Yeah.
opened the set that I saw with Under the Bridge, and that was just
Oh, cool. Yeah.
someone else played
Barry.
bass.
Oh, yeah.
and so that's
Yeah.
a nice little freedom just to be able to hold
Definitely.
a microphone and.
Right. I think on 2 songs I play bass and on 2 songs you play bass.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's what it
Well,
is.
that I mean that keeps it fun. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that is fun.
People
Oh, yeah.
think that one is just like the other. Like, oh, if you can play guitar, you can play bass. It's like, well, kind of. I mean, you can
like,
get by on
Yeah,
it.
you
Yeah.
can like
But-
hit the notes. That's pretty
I
different.
still play it with a pick when it's my turn.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah, but it's all about like the rhythm, and you really
Right.
nail the rhythm still.
Oh,
So
thanks,
Yeah.
man.
And having those chops can
Yeah.
help.
yeah,
Right.
Your
Totally.
I'm used to having these arms over here, just kicking this thing around. Having those music chops can help, like the overall sound of it. So
Absolutely.
writing music is in terms of like writing a record. Do you write in terms of hey, let's get 4 songs out, let's get an EP out, or are you writing towards?
We did on the last 2. On
Yeah.
this one, we've already started recording a new song, and we may drop it like it's
we might
hot.
just drop a single.
Yeah, we
yeah.
want to write for an album, but we want to put out singles.
But you want to continue. See, that's what I was going to say. Because currently, waiting to get an album done before you start ushering out songs, it doesn't. That's not the system anymore. It
It's
doesn't.
not, yeah.
It doesn't work like that anymore. So,
true.
I've been like a couple artists that I know. They'll do 4 tunes at the time. They'll release the 4 tunes.
I like that.
And then after they do 4 tunes, then they'll put the album together.
There you go.
Because no one's like waiting on that album to drop. They're just like, if you give them a song,
Yeah.
like, oh shit, new song by the Brown Goose.
Yeah,
Right.
Right.
And
Exactly.
especially with Spotify, you can just pop it right on there.
Yeah,
YouTube,
right.
We're
whatever.
constantly releasing something instead of just dropping everything at one time.
At one time, yeah.
Right.
It
Yeah.
seems more, especially today, with the goldfish brains of the typical listener.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not giving them some kind of content at a pace,
Yeah.
they're gonna forget.
That's true.
absolutely. That's that. Yeah, that can totally happen.
Do you guys have a backlog of enough like original stuff that where you can be like feel comfortable? You could probably release something every month or so, like a song.
I don't know about every month, but I
Yeah.
think we could get there.
We could get
pretty
to that
quickly.
point,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like right now, I think we got about like, we got seven songs for the new album.
Yeah.
We only started recording one like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah.
But we have 7 with like parts, words, and lyrics, or lyrics and melodies and all that kind of stuff. And then we have like 2 others that have like instrumental parts and like arrangements, but no words yet.
Yeah.
So like I guess our main plan on this one is to like record one at a time, and then
Well, do you book studio time or do you have your own studio?
we have our own studio
See,
at Jonathan's house. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's the thing, because if you're not like, hey, can you get me in on Friday?
Yeah.
If you can record at your own pace and your own will, and for I mean, equipment costs money.
Right.
For sure.
But,
But
you
once you
don't
have it-
rent your house to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
right.
it's essentially free in terms of, and not having the constraints of like, oh, we have to get it done before 6,
For sure.
Right.
or it's another $80 or
Yeah,
whatever.
Right.
Very true. Yeah.
We did have a really good for the last album. This Is the Way. We recorded that album in a studio with this guy Lee Dias out of Valdosta. It was a really awesome experience, though. He had all sorts of gear, all sorts of
Shout out to
toys.
Lee.
Yeah, shout out to Lee.
Shout out to Lee Dias.
But
We'll put
and,
him in
and
the
so
description, yeah.
so it was like really cool. But like in between recording that last album and this one, Jonathan's just been like acquiring gear like a madman.
I got the gearitis sometimes too.
Yeah, and it's really cool.
I'll bite you.
Shout out to Harmon JBL, I guess.
Harmon, yeah, JBL.
Well, and the thing is, like, so there is something to be said for doing demos at your house, getting those things set down, and then if
Yeah.
you're like, hey, there's some potential here for some, then you'd be like, hey, I'm gonna book some studio time, but you walk in and you're like, we know the tune.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
That's
those
kind of
big-
what we did with the last
That's
album.
I mean,
really.
but you can release your demos.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
and be like,
Some
hey,
people
this
like
is
that stuff,
I
man.
mean, they want to hear
People
your
love that.
progression as it's going on.
That is
You
true.
can release the demos, and then once you're ready to do the album, you can, go to a bigger studio who's got every knob and button you've ever wanted that you
Yeah.
can't afford. You know,
They
what I
got
mean?
the real SSL console.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said for that, like, going into the studio and being like, hey, we're focused, we're ready to go.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because the old studio that I used to work at, people would come in listlessly. They'd be like, all right, what are we going to do today? I'm like, you know how much this costs?
Yeah.
And you're like, you figuring out your fucking guitar solo right now?
It's ticking
Like,
right now. Yeah.
you're writing lyrics? Hey, man, you need to.
we did write some lyrics in that last album. We booked out like a week or something at first.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It was like 5 days, something like that. And so but we had already recorded the entire album
Yeah.
by ourselves,
Yeah.
between my house and
All
Jonathan's
demos.
house.
Yeah.
And then we walked in there and we just started replacing tracks in the studio,
knocking it
basically.
out.
And then, but there were some songs where we just still didn't have the lyrics finished, so we're like, kind of come up
That's
with stuff
fucking
like,
fine.
yeah.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
going in there and be like, what's this song about?
Yeah. Right. What
Woke
concert?
up this morning.
Yeah.
In the studio.
Speaking of studio, Click Track. I noticed yesterday on your phone, I saw a metronome on there.
Yeah.
I was
So,
like, I can, man, so I can play to a click in a studio?
yeah.
Yeah.
Live, how the fuck do you do that?
We're all on it.
Takes,
Everyone's
yeah,
got it?
everybody
Yeah.
is now.
Oh, okay.
So we
'Cause
play
I was
like-
if one person has it. Like,
That's
We
even if
played
it's a drummer.
3 or 4 hours with a click track straight. It's
Huh?
a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Studio, whatever. But see, I didn't know if you guys had it in your in-ears.
Yeah.
We do.
Because
yeah.
if one
Yeah.
person doesn't, they're
We
like, I
used-
don't give a fuck.
We used to
Yeah.
not.
It was just me for a long
It
time.
was just him, but we pulled it off. But then all of a
it
sudden
used to
I'd
be-
rigged it
yeah,
because
it used
we just had it where we plugged from the we used to use a loop station, and I programmed just snippets of a click track at the different tempos for the different songs. and
Oh,
named
God.
them.
Oh, so you had to be like a roll-in, whatever, like 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, but no, but it would stay.
It would-
it
oh,
would
it
loop
was a
'cause
constant
was
loop. Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
and so I chopped it, or whatever, and then so he just had it, and we just ran it straight from that pedal into the second input on his in-ear, and then I realized I could loop some of the signals on the in-ears into the other transmitter and stuff. So then for a while, Gio had it, and it was just the two of them.
Okay.
And then it was like
How was that?
noticeable. It was great.
Okay,
It was
good, okay.
noticeable that it was like a better when more people had it, and so then eventually me and Mike
Yeah.
just started using it.
I was
too.
going to say, 'cause
Right.
if just one person has it, that's
Yeah.
a fucking mess, man.
Because he'd be back there, he'd be like, all right, so this is the tempo, and sometimes he'd be like, man, we can't hear it. You got to do it louder. Do it louder.
Do it louder.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably like banging that hi-hat like, this is...
Yes, exactly.
back to...
Yeah, right.
Right.
Totally.
So what sparked you wanted to use a click just to keep everybody
Yeah.
like honest,
Just to
I guess?
progress.
Yeah.
You know, to
Kinda-
make everything tighter.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I remember the moment that I was like, thought in my head, I was like, I need to figure out something we can do for a click track. That's when I got that pedal.
When you
I
started the
already
loop
had it,
thing?
yeah. And I was like, how could I make this work? But we played this show and the band that played before us was this. It's like they were black girls, and they were playing rock music. And their brother played drums, and they were so badass and solid and tight, and they had all these things, and he had this. He was playing his click track off like a rolling drum pad.
Yeah.
And they also had samples that they were starting on it and stuff, but they were just so badass. And then we went on after him, and I was like, it wasn't our tightest of shows. It was not bad, but it wasn't the tightest.
So was that the spark to be like, hey,
yeah,
maybe we
like,
should
man,
get a
we
click?
gotta-
Yeah.
How do we do? What
But
they
then
do?
we, over time, kind of reverted back. So every now and then I'll cut it, just because you get that natural energy. Sometimes
Sure,
the
yeah.
crowd is really into it. It needs to be stepped up a little
You
bit.
might want to push that tempo
yeah,
a little bit.
but from playing with the metronome, you just kind of internalize
100%, yeah.
the tempo,
Yeah.
even if
Locked
it's
in.
faster.
And
Being
even if
locked
people
in,
don't
yeah.
recognize it, the tightness of it. Because like you said, the first time I saw someone using that, they had a lot of time-based samples.
Yeah.
So he's on the click, and like I've tried to do time-based samples playing drums, and it's like I'm 8 clicks off of this fucking thing. You know what I mean? So like watching a guy like use that and hitting samples at the right time,
It's
I get
crazy.
it. People might not understand it, but they'll notice the tightness of it.
Right.
Because Allie was the one that pointed it out to me. She was like, "What's that thing beeping down there?" I was like, "They got a fucking click track." I was like, because I was like, these guys don't fluctuate. You know what I mean?
nice,
I was like,
nice.
this is
Yeah.
inhuman.
nice. Yeah,
Right.
there was a time I think where we started using it, and I realized we were like, oh, I think whenever we would go into a vamp or like a guitar solo, we would all just naturally get excited and start
And speed
speeding
up a little bit, yeah.
So like once we started using the track or the click track, I was like, oh my god, all my guitar solos are easier now because we're not in like
You don't
hyper
have to.
mode.
Yeah, you're not in ludicrous mode.
Totally,
Ludicrous speed,
yeah. Ludicrous speed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you come back from a solo half the time. It's like 10
Cooking.
BPM faster.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And playing in the studio to a it's just like just having that crowd like. So having the option to pedal it off, be like, hey, let's ramp it up.
toggle
You know?
And it's just
Yeah.
a mute switch, is what it is.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
he's got. It's like so.
Doesn't
so
even have a
low
power
tech.
supply.
Yeah, no power
Just
supply.
a passive.
Oh,
On off.
fuck. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so you
the
don't have to
signal.
worry about the battery dying
Yeah.
becoming unplugged. Yeah.
Yeah, you can plug it in, but it just powers the light on it.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
So we're like,
It's,
Equipment that doesn't fail is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you don't give it the option to fail,
Yeah,
it's just
right.
it's a literal lever on-off switch.
Yeah.
Let's take a real quick break, grab us some beers and stuff, and we'll be right back with the Brown Goose. I'm sitting here with the Brown Goose, and nothing has changed since the first segment to the second. Everything is fine. We are all fine. Everything is good. We are all good. So let's go back to the beginning, as it were, the roots. Tallahassee, you guys meet. Did a couple of you meet first, and then flesh out the rest of the band, or
Actually, I met Barry out of these guys first,
okay,
and
Yeah, because if I had seen him first.
not not joining that group.
I saw him first. No, just kidding. So he was in another band. Actually, we were all in different bands.
Oh, we're
Yeah, and we all played in this same scene in Tallahassee, which was like super thriving. Still is a great scene in Tallahassee. At that time, we kind of started forming as just like pulling different band members, and then eventually
Just
you
absorbing.
two joined at the same time.
Yeah.
Wolf
Well,
and
a
Witness.
little bit after him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it was like shortly after, but it was Midnight Matinee, which is still around. Awesome band. Edensville was where Barry was in. I was in the Brown Goose already, and he was in Wolf and Witness. Gio was in Wolf and Witness. And
So it was like hired gun thing at first, like, hey, we need a bass player tonight, and our normal bass player isn't here.
That's how we got Jonathan.
Okay, well, yeah. Like,
So
we
I
need a drummer.
started. I played in like you said, a band called Edensville in Tallahassee. It's like it was like around 2013. I joined the Brown Goose, and around then it was one of the, because there's like, peaks and valleys of the way the music scenes in different places
Sure.
go, and so it's like one of the peaks where there's just like a ton of bands. Mike had started the Brown Goose and started putting on these like shows for Mike Murphy, the song Sergeant Mike Murphy.
Oh, nice.
For him every time he'd come home from Afghanistan.
Oh, that's dope. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah.
And so he'd put together these shows and then have other bands play on them. And so
And you guys were part of the other
we
band
were
sometimes?
yeah. Yeah, and so I joined my band kind of like was falling apart. Like we were having some like members, like it was just constantly going through members and stuff like that. And Mike was kind of going through the same thing at the time. And so we're just like, let's just join forces, I guess, And
Yeah.
so we did, and then we went through a ton of members after that. That was between 2013 and 2017. We just constantly were going. We had trouble finding bass players. I
There's
used
been
to
like
play
15
guitar.
people in this band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it
And
goes sometimes.
our drummer stuck with us pretty much until we started touring. We went through a number of different fill-in bass players, and
Yeah.
then we had a keyboard player for a while there in the beginning too that we had. But once we started touring, then it became noticeable we needed solid members.
We
at
need
each-
someone who can go on the road.
Yeah.
And whenever asked. Yeah.
And I had to end up playing bass on a number of shows, switching from guitar to bass because I played guitar.
You
and
started. You were a guitar in your other in
in the
your
other
first
band, and
yeah.
then also in the Brown Goose until 2017.
So necessity, like, all right, hard to find a bass or hard to keep a bass player
Yeah.
or have one that's available. I'm gonna play bass now.
Yeah, because I was just having to anyway. And so the keyboard player we played with at the time was like, yo, Gio's not playing right now. The band he was in is not really doing stuff. And instead of, because we're like, who are we going to get to play bass this time, And it was like, why don't you just stay on bass, Barry? You're doing great. We'll just get Gio. And Gio came in and he's like way better guitar player than me. So it was just like night and
You're like,
day.
hand it over. Here you go, sir.
Yeah.
I
And
concede. That's
we had
hey,
like similar styles, but he just
Yeah.
could. I feel his playing is more realized than mine was.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I had ideas, but I couldn't pull them off.
Sure, yeah. Then when it's time to solo, it's like fucking shredding. It's like, all right, you got it, man. You're the
Yeah,
guitar
I'm like,
player.
I'll stick back here and hold the
I'll be
rhythm.
over here. Is Tallahassee sort of the same as Savannah in terms of so here, there's a guitar player on every corner, there's a bass player in every alley. Drummers, there's like 5 of us. Is it like that there?
I mean, I don't. Kind of.
I'd say you see a lot of
There's a few
drummers
really good
playing
drummers.
for.
Playing for multiple bands,
Yes,
right?
for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah.
Because you probably played in a few all at the same time, right?
A couple.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because normally, even if you're not like here, even if you're not a great drummer, you still get calls because there's only a few drummers.
Right,
Yeah.
you're like, well, our first
First
round
choice, yeah,
draft
yeah.
pick is out.
Yeah, that's actually how we ended up getting Jonathan, come to think of it, because the original drummer for the Brown Goose played all the way to like April of 2017, and then we started working with that booking agency
Yeah.
like in May, and they were like, we're going to put you on the road, we got these gigs for you and stuff like that, and so we were like, oh crap, we got to get a
You
drummer.
need a solid person that can go on the road.
So we got this kid from the School of Music, and he was good, but he was a little didn't really mesh with our style, personalities and stuff like
Sure.
that. He was a very nice guy though.
Sure. You can have all the chops in the world and
Yeah.
be good, but if you're not friendship level
Yeah.
bandmate,
Yeah,
What's
and
the
like
point?
he was like a little more square than we were and stuff, so it was just kind of weird.
Yeah.
But he had a couple shows that he couldn't do, and then we were scrambling to find a drummer. I remember, and then I was just like, man, what if we called like that Thor-looking dude from Midnight Matinee?
Well,
So we did.
flashback. The first time I played with these guys, I was playing with Midnight Matinee. I think you were playing guitar,
Yep.
and we were having a problem finding other good bands to play with. And when we played with them, I was like, damn, this band is badass. So I was like, we got to play with them more. We got contact information. And then after a few days, Barry hits me up. Calls me.
he was like, hey, got an opening.
Yeah. I was like, yo, can you play these shows? And I remember he goes, I'll have to think about that. And I've never had anybody say anything like that. It was usually like yes or no.
coy,
I'll have
hard to
think
get.
about
Let's
that.
go.
I was like, all right.
I'm not that easy, bitch. I'll think about it.
Right.
But he got back and he could, so we did this cool little run in Alabama. I think we played like Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and Jacksonville, Alabama in 1 week, like
right.
3 days in
Yeah.
a row or whatever.
Well, I know Tuscaloosa is college town. Birmingham's like
Yeah.
big, but
Jacksonville is
Another
college
college
town.
town.
It's nothing but a small college and farms.
that's great though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because it's all ready to go college kids wanting to
Right.
party.
Right. Statesboro, Georgia is another place like that.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
That's like
Statesboro's
right down the road,
small-
yeah.
it's like an hour away from here.
Yeah.
The weird thing about Statesboro is though, like, I mean, they have a few venues there, but not as many as you would think. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have two pretty big ones now, but the staple one was, what was it?
Was it
called?
Dingus McGee's or
Dingus
something?
was,
Yeah.
that was the staple.
That's where most of the kids went.
Yeah.
But then there's the French Quarter. My old band played there a couple times. It was the biggest space, but
that much.
it was
was
weird
that
and
by
out of
the
the way.
It was it by the stadium.
I don't know. I can't
Oh,
remember.
okay.
Yeah.
Because there's the place that we play at more recently. We started at Dingus, and then it's just really small and everything. And we we got into this place called the Blue Room. It's right next to the stadium, and it's like
okay.
800 cap or something
Oh,
like
that
that.
must
And
be
it's
kinda new
always
then, yeah, I'd know.
packed to the hill.
No shit.
Yeah, like you don't even have.
So you're
yeah.
feeling good, like first time in
Yeah.
Statesboro, like,
You're like, what
Yeah.
the hell
look at
is
what
this
I've
place?
created.
Yeah, you have like a green room and
Oh man,
all,
the first
and
time I ever had
you
a
know.
green room, I was
Yeah.
like, "This is what it's like, man.
This is cool.
They got water.
We've made it.
Yeah.
I can write on the wall."
Right?
Yeah. And their production in there is crazy. dude.
So
Yeah.
the thing you don't realize is when you walk into a place and there's a guy micing you up and asking you if you need anything else in your monitor, you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, am I at a 5-star resort here?"
Yeah, right.
You're so used to loading your own shit in and making your own monitor mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just begging the dude to please.
It's so weird, like, because you'll be like, "Hey man, could I just get a little more, bass in the monitor?" It's like, "Yeah, whatever." And it'll fake turn it up. It's like, I know what you did. I know you just reached over that board and you didn't do anything. It's like, why not make the band happy so they can play the best? There's I won't mention the place, but there's a place in Savannah where anything you ask for monitor-wise or anything is like,
Oh man.
fine, man.
Yeah.
Well-
And he'll never do it for you.
Damn.
I'll tell you what it is off mic, but
Yeah.
so that you can not play there. But I don't think you're booked there yet. So
Yeah,
that's-
Definitely
There's-
not Barrel House.
Yeah.
Rob
No.
is awesome.
Dude, Rob is the best.
Rob's the
He's
shit.
best. He's
Yeah.
so
He
good.
comes out with the iPad. and
Shout
you're
out
like,
to
what
Rob.
you need?
Shout out to
Shout out Rob.
Shout out to Rob.
Something he'll just show. He's like, "This is what it looks like." Just
What you need, man.
Yeah.
And he's right there, and he's as soon as you walk in the door
yeah.
too.
and he's just so happy the
He's
whole
just
time.
the nicest sound guy.
He
ever.
likes being a sound guy.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
I know.
He loves his job.
Him and the dude at the Blue Room in Statesboro. One of the dudes that owns that is the guy that books at Barrel House.
Oh,
both
word.
the sound guys at those two places are so cool. They're
I
so
want to get with that
nice.
agency. Be like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah,
where do you get
Airbound.
your sound guys from?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, they got something in the water over there.
So your first gig around Tallahassee, it's like bar band stuff, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But right away, did you feel like you had made some once this core group was together, and you felt like a jive together and a sound, and you all knew what each other were doing? Do you think the kickoff was pretty quick to be like the crowds were like, "Hey, I'm into this already"?
Yeah.
Like
Like-
it didn't take long to like flesh something together.
Gio and Jonathan came in like right, like I said, November, like right around Thanksgiving was the first time we played a show with them, officially in the band. And then when we came up and played that first time at Huckapoo's, like the New Year's Eve weekend, that's when I knew for sure. I was like,
So that was like
"Dang."
in the very beginning of this
This iteration,
these four
of,
guys.
yeah, because it
That's
was
great.
just so
Glow up for
tight.
sure.
We played in that Huckapoo's is like tiny and
Tiny
whatnot,
as
but
hell, yeah.
it sounded, it was cold, so it was winter, so they had the tarp
Yeah.
windows up or whatever, and it just sounded so dope and fat and like tight in there. And that we played the next night, we ended up playing St. Augustine. I was like so hungover, like puked in the van,
Nice.
like in a bag though, you know.
Yeah. I mean, are you rock and roll if you have
Yeah,
a in the
yeah.
van? Let's go.
We've
there
all
for
done
him.
it. But then we played that next night over there, and it was just like, whoa, this is like crazy tight. People come up, they're like, it's so tight, man, it's so tight. This is before we even had the click. And
Oh, wow, yeah.
And
So
then
you knew. Yeah.
yeah, and then I was like, there's something we got going on. We were just using our whole minimalistic setup
Yeah.
too. And it just worked out so good, and I was like, "There's something definitely going on."
Well, especially in the
Similar.
beginning, you're like, when I first started playing drums, I would bring like a lot of a kit, and then it slowly whittled down to a little bit. Just, you're carrying shit in and out.
Yeah.
If I'm in town, but like going out of town, I'd bring everything. You know what I mean? Because you're like, hey, this is like.
I gotta show off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you play a few gigs, and then you start to feel the gel, and you're like, all right, this is something. And then you came to Savannah pretty soon after that,
Yeah.
as this four, played at Huckapoo's, and then probably met Vinny, and then that kicked off. He works at Social. He books for Social.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if
That-
you
that
get
kicked off the
anything downtown,
snowball, yeah,
yeah, and then you
of-
got Barrel House, yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much kind of consider like Savannah, like our like biggest market outside
Outside of your
Tallahassee.
own, yeah.
Yeah, right now. And it's growing, like I said, because people come to Savannah, like so many people here on vacation or
Yeah.
bridal showers or weddings
Yeah.
or whatever, and then they go back to their home in Paducah, Kentucky, and
Yeah.
they're like.
Ass Cancer, Ohio.
Yeah, wherever it is, yeah. And Portsmouth, maybe.
We just have an Ohio thing. Down
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's really kind of snowballing from there. I really feel like
I'm glad that Savannah can provide that for you.
Yeah.
And Savannah's a good place for that, especially because there's a lot of places to play.
Yes.
And people talk. And before, I mean, you guys had played at Pooh's, but I think I was working outside, and I'm deaf half, and we're busy, and I can't go inside. But I think you guys played once when I was working there.
Nice.
Yeah.
But then after that, everyone, there was like a little bit of talk. They're like, hey, heard the Brown Goose yet?
Nice.
I was like, I think they played the other, like a couple
hell
weeks
yeah.
ago, something like that. But then, Vinny mentioned you guys a bunch of times. And then people that I don't really know
Cool. Yeah.
began mentioning
nice.
you guys. You know what I mean?
Cool. Nice.
And then when
always-
Carolyn and Mac and Charlie hit me up, they're like, hey, man, these guys are looking for like a podcast. So I was like,
Hell
I'd be
yeah.
one of those.
That's awesome.
I can do that. And so, yeah, super, super happy to do it. And so you,
We're stoked to be on.
in Savannah, especially, have you been able to use this as a jump off? Like, all right, we stop in Savannah first, and then we go to, I don't know, Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we do. Usually we'll
Do you
hit
normally
here.
just come to Savannah and go back, or is it?
No, usually we'll do like a 3-day run or something
Yeah.
like that, where we'll hit Savannah, maybe Tybee, and then
Yeah.
maybe even
Jacksonville.
Oh, sick. Oh, yeah. You guys
Jacksonville.
played at Lynch's in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that place.
Yeah,
man.
shout out to Lynch's
Yeah.
too, because
Shout out.
We do a lot where we'll start in Savannah and then we'll we'll end in Savannah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
Yeah.
either a jump off point or an ending point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've done we've done Atlanta, Savannah, like you said. We've
Yeah, yeah.
done Clemson,
Oh,
and then
sick.
played in
Yeah.
Savannah or Columbia.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes too.
Columbia's dope, too,
We
for
played-
music.
I remember one time we played at like Hilton Head after Savannah,
Yeah.
or before Savannah or
Yeah.
something like that, and then
Where in Hilton Head? What, like Riders? or
Tiki
something?
Bar.
Oh, I played at Tiki Bar.
Yeah, yeah.
You, did y'all play the 1 o'clock set?
No.
You played in the evening?
Yeah.
Ooh. 1 o'clock set? All right. This podcast isn't about me, but I do have
Yeah.
a very good story about the Tiki Hut.
Oh, yeah.
I went and played with a couple guys, so I'm a hired gun half the time. Like I said, there's only like 5 drummers in Savannah.
Right.
They're like, we need a drummer for this Tiki Hut gig. I was like, sure. It takes me from Tybee like an hour and a half to get over there.
Nice.
We play the 1 to 4 set in the afternoon. It is July 1st. I mean,
Oh, wow.
dead summer.
Yeah.
And they have a roof,
Yeah.
It don't do shit for the sun coming
No.
in off the ocean.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I'm playing with this one old guy. His name's Craig. And he's a shredding guitar player. This dude's great.
Nice.
Like, he fucking shreds. So it's getting real hot. I'm not feeling great. He's on a stool in front of me, and he's going, oh, whittly, 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 rear. I start hearing him shutting down.
Oh,
And he
no.
almost, he almost falls off his stool.
Damn.
I have to jump up from behind the drums like, yeah. So luckily y'all didn't have to play the 1 o'clock set.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Tiki Hut,
I
yeah.
kinda
We
could
played
tell.
another place over there too.
it was
Same lady.
Windjammers. Is that what it is?
No,
Windjammers.
Charleston.
Charleston, yeah. We
Y'all played Windjammers though?
Yeah.
That's great.
We did.
It was
That was
cool.
a cool
Oh,
We
those
played
are-
for their staff.
Yeah.
Oh,
There wasn't very many people there.
It was a really cool
I
place,
thought you
though.
had like a Christmas party. Like, no, it was
No.
just the staff.
That would have been more.
That would have been way better.
much more lit.
There
But
was
it wasn't like that.
two. I have no idea why they were even open. Like,
I think it was rainy that day.
I just remember killing it, though.
we were inside.
inside.
Inside, yeah.
I wanna
and it
say
was
it was
a
like-
cool spot.
It was like cold and rainy, and I
Cold
think
and
it was
rainy, yeah.
after a Dingus show
Yeah, we
too.
played Dingus and
I
then drove.
I drove
Yeah, he
that
drove.
night all the way to Windjammer. I think we
And
like
we
just
slept
slept
in the parking lot of the venue.
And then we
Might as
played.
well.
Then we played that gig, and it was just rainy, cold. Nobody
Yeah.
wanted to come out.
But they were really cool. They treated us well. It sounded amazing in there.
Well, Brendan and
Another
Brendan and Jake from Humphreys play there every so often.
Oh,
they
nice.
do Bayless or what's it
Oh,
called?
cool.
Basic,
Basic.
but they play on like the volleyball
Oh,
court
cool.
outside or
Oh,
whatever.
cool.
So that's the only way that I've ever heard of
Oh, yeah.
Windjammer.
There's
But
a
if,
huge inside stage too.
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
a dope.
massive.
So when you said you guys played there, I was like,
That made it look even more empty though, because there was like this enormous venue, and then like the bartenders were really nice, and we like traded shirts with them. Like we gave
Wanted
them
to go back there.
Yeah, same. We've tried to get back in there, but we just don't. The people that
Poor
that
crowd,
used to
obviously.
book
Yeah.
us didn't
word.
really have. I don't even know how they got the connection on the first place.
Well,
but-
there's some, like you said, there's some connections between cities. Like I know that, and I'm not telling you to book a Wild Wing, but all the Wild Wings book for each other
oh, okay.
everywhere. So all of the locations, it's under one thing. But then there's also other venues like Tiki Hut and shit like that where they have a group.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so
when we
there's
played
different
over
city-
in Hilton Head, there was
Yeah.
another venue that was somehow connected to
Right, yeah.
Tiki
So
Hut,
if you
yeah.
find some of those, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, if we play Windjammer or whatever, then possibly you could play. Check out Poorhouse in Charleston. You guys could probably.
Poorhouse.
The Poorhouse.
Poorhouse.
That's like the super local
I thought
venue,
you
but they
said
get like. That's around back. But try them out too, because that's like the best, like not
Cool.
local venue, but like
I've heard of that place.
Yeah, it's a
for
great,
sure,
it's a
yeah.
great place to play.
And you said it's in Charleston?
It's in Charleston, yeah.
Cool.
I'll have to get back up there. Yeah.
Do you guys ever do festivals at all?
We do.
We have.
We've done a few
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
So was your sets? Because this is a question I ask every
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
Daytime or nighttime set?
Both.
Usually daytime. I think.
Yeah,
usually daytime, but
Most
we've
of the
done
time,
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done some. We did.
Sunsets.
We just played South by.
Sunset
Yeah,
sets.
we played it. Yeah, we played South by Southwest. I
Oh,
guess
fuck
that's
yeah,
a music
dude.
festival.
So daytime set, it's like, is it hard to get up for it? Not, I don't mean like energy level, like you're hungover the night before, which that does have something to do with it. But like, let's say you've been playing for night crowds, and all of a sudden you're out walking out at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Right.
Not everyone's so jazzed. Is
Yeah.
do you either want to like really fuck them hard, or
Yeah.
are you just like
Always.
I think we come out
Yes.
hot.
Always.
always
Always.
want to fuck them
Yeah.
hard?
Always fuck them hard.
It's like as soon as you can. I feel like this. Like I can have all sorts of like a billion just different things going through my head.
Yeah.
Overthinking the situation. Oh man, I can't believe nobody's here. But as soon as that first note hits, it's like
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're just like
Turn
you're
on,
playing.
good.
You know, it doesn't even
Well,
matter.
because
yeah.
I've seen bands that are like, we're better than this, and why'd they put us at 2 o'clock? I don't know, but
Oh,
we're just
yeah.
gonna call
No,
it
yeah.
in. But then you got guys like My Morning Jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen them play for a very few amount of people. It sounded like they were playing fucking, Bonnaroo main stage or something.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
man.
That'll almost
saw-
give you like a chip on your
Yeah.
shoulder too.
Yeah.
If you're like, you put us at noon, you're like, so let's like really go.
Yeah,
Let's really
let's
fuck
go.
noon.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Next
Yeah.
time they're going to
We-
put it in the good spot.
Exactly, yeah.
We played at this Freedom Fest 4th of July celebration on Fort Rucker last year for the like the military and their families and stuff like that. Like on the-
Is Rucker near Tallahassee or something?
Rucker is near kind of Dothan, Enterprise, Alabama.
Okay, gotcha.
So South Alabama.
It's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But it's like so it's huge festival stage. We're like playing with like a bunch of country bands and stuff, which is whatever. But
Okay.
we got to play 1 or 2 songs, 3 songs maybe at the
yeah.
most,
And then
and the bottom
thunder.
dropped out of the sky. So
no.
like they rushed us off stage like right before it started
Yeah.
happening. They had a lightning strike warning or something like that.
Ooh, yeah.
So they get us off the stage. The whole thing, we're sitting there waiting for it, and the rain's not going to stop in time for us to play. But like the production crew, like so many people, like off 3 songs that we
Yeah,
played,
yeah.
we're just like, holy shit, like.
Wish you guys could have finished.
Yeah, because we literally played for as people are kind of just getting there,
Yeah.
and they're trying to set up their chairs out there.
What
and
was
stuff.
your slot? Like an hour?
It's only like 30 or 45 minutes. So
Oh,
the,
so you get 3
Yeah.
songs in, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
the
no
lightning
chance.
delay was like the lightning delay was gonna take 30 minutes. So
No
they're like,
matter
that's
what.
the rest of your set.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah. No matter, even if it didn't rain, even if
Yeah.
Exactly.
your
it
set
wasn't even
was
raining
toast.
that bad.
It was
out there.
it was a
Sprinkling.
cool.
It was
They
sprinkling, yeah.
rolled out the red carpet.
That's
Like, we
what-
got a
It was-
trailer.
Yeah, we had a
Like an
trailer.
RV.
Shut up.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were
It was-
opening for Daryl Worley, so he's a pretty big deal.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
had like a
country
list
act,
of
yeah.
demands.
Yeah, they it was the first time I ever
What's your
had
rider?
to do hospitality
we
rider.
don't
We've done
know.
tech riders a bunch, but they're like,
Yeah.
send us your hospitality rider. I was like, I don't even know one. So I like,
We don't have one.
I just looked up one online, copied it, and just changed the stuff to
You
our
accidentally
stuff.
look up ACDCs, and it's like 10 bottles of Jack, 2
Yeah.
2 pizzas
I
delivered.
had a bottle of tequila on there, and they brought it.
No shit.
Yeah.
definitely got
it
it.
wasn't a super expensive bottle, but
Yeah.
it was still free
I still
tequila.
get sick whenever I think about that.
that tequila.
That one fucking
Oh.
bottle.
It was a lot of
cozy.
fun. We got to hang out with the Air Force or the Army paratroopers. That,
So they do it for the base, for
Yeah,
morale boosting, like
absolutely yeah.
exercise.
And
sort
it's
of
like
thing?
the Thursday before the 4th of July weekend.
Oh, so everyone's
So it's like they
patriotic
probably
then.
get off. They probably get off early on Friday, or they don't have to work that Friday.
That's cool that they do that for them, though.
Yeah.
And especially if you're if you're working on a military base as like a musician or production, everyone's on their shit. I'm
They
sure.
are-
You know what I
oh,
mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
no one's lazy.
They also had a
Oh,
military band.
like
Oh,
those,
right,
like
yeah,
the Marine
like a rock
band.
band.
like the
A
drum.
rock
Oh,
band.
like a
yeah,
rock band.
Like a
yeah,
full
the
band.
Air,
Really good.
Army
They're
rock
awesome,
band,
too.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
They were sick. Yeah,
They were
Yeah, they ended up like, so we played our 3 songs, then it just rained.
Were you guys the first to go on though?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then it was supposed to be this other, like, up like pretty big, but still like not as big as like Daryl Worley country band.
Yeah.
And then the Army
Marine band or
funk
Army
band
yeah.
or whatever
No
they were.
shit, yeah.
And they were killing some Bruno Mars and some stuff like that. They
They
were
were
just
very impressive.
they were so
how
good.
how
Had
much did
brass,
the
too.
delay cut
there was
into
like
the
12
other?
people in the band.
the
Oh,
one
nice.
the country dude, I think his name no, it's not Tracy Lewis. I can't remember what his
But
name
you
was.
guys were essentially the only
Yeah.
one affected by the.
Yeah.
the
No,
red-
the band that was supposed to go after us, the bigger country act.
Oh, he didn't.
He didn't get to play at all.
delay, though.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
2 hours.
Oh
We
wow.
were just sitting there like waiting. We realized we're not going to go back on, so then we're like, all right, cool. Like let's hang out
start
at the
partying.
backstage hospitality area, start drinking some beers and stuff like that, and then, like it's like all of a sudden I'm pretty sure the funk band was good actually.
I thought they were great.
Yeah, and then
Nah,
you
they were
get-
awesome, though,
We
for
got
sure.
lost on a military base because
In
we
the
Yeah, we
couldn't,
couldn't
yeah.
find
we
our
couldn't
way
find
out.
our way out of there.
I was like, guys, this is the beginning of a
there was
horror
just
movie.
there was just a gate and like we couldn't barricades and
Dude,
stuff.
you'll
We
get
couldn't-
shot if you're at the wrong
I
place on a
know.
We
military
couldn't
base,
get out of
dude.
there.
Well,
we were like
used
freaking out.
Google Maps took us to an exit gate
Yeah.
that was closed.
And then there was
And nobody was
and then there
around.
was
Tank
another
exit
gate.
only.
We kept
Yeah.
going to different exit gates, and they were all
definitely getting
barricaded up.
arrested
And
in
like,
Yeah.
I would be shitting
we
myself.
were freaking out.
were freaking
we
out.
were lost for about an hour and a half.
Big black van driving on an army base or
Right.
whatever. and
Yeah,
you're like,
it's
these guys
not
are
a
going to
good
shoot
look.
us.
It's
Yeah,
not
I was
a
like,
good look.
this is the beginning of a horror movie.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, a helicopter appears overhead. Get
Yeah.
out of the vehicle, please.
and what I was also like, worried. I was like, dude, there's people out here that like if we got pulled over or something out here, like they probably got like K9 units and stuff.
Oh, you'd be toast,
You're
man.
busted for weed on a.
They're like, Willie Nelson, we'd let him slide on that.
Yeah,
You guys,
exactly.
nah,
Yeah, I
to
don't
the
know.
brig.
Yeah. Well, there was a
Fingernail polish you're wearing?
It was funny. There was a cop that was messing with us too, and like he came and met us, and he was like, he opened the door and he was like, "Where are the drugs, guys?" We were like, "Oh shit!"
That was
And
when
he
we
was
were
like, "I'm
still
just
in
kidding."
when we were in the hospitality,
Not funny.
our trailer. He comes and knocks on the door, and it was, oh man, that totally. But he's like, yeah, man, I know you guys. We play over there, kind of near there. There's a small town
Ended up
called
being a
Ozark,
fan.
Alabama.
Yeah.
So
And
he had, like,
he'd
knew
seen-
of you guys?
He
though?
knew of us,
Yeah.
yeah. And
That's amazing that he did that to
That
you.
was super funny. But yeah, there's this little tiny town over there called Ozark, Alabama, and they're trying to do a revamp of their downtown. There's this guy, Jason Harlow, he's real into the music scene, incredible shredder himself and stuff, plays in a bunch of bands, and just really trying to like pop the music scene off in this small town. It's really cool. Like everybody goes to this one little bar, and
That's great, though.
It's very
Especially
neat.
if there's a base anywhere nearby.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in one place. You can get them all to come. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
an outing. They'll
Right.
yeah, and they all
Right.
and like all the people around there, if they're not in the military, also somehow a lot of them work on the base and civilian.
It's probably
contracting
like the biggest
jobs.
industry around there. If
Yeah.
it's, you know,
Right. It
if they don't have
definitely
like
is.
coal mines or something like that, you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
That's definitely all that's like going on out there.
Was that like the biggest production size gig you guys have done, and then it gets taken away from?
Say that Fred's in
Fred's
Baton
Fred's in
Rouge?
Baton Rouge.
What is Fred's?
It's a bar, so it's Fred's Bar and Grill. It's like a LSU college bar, super like
Sick.
since 1982 or something. They say I think on their sign, right, or something. Anyway, it's like
But it's like
you
a
know,
music venue.
It's it's a small little tiny bar, and then they have like 4 circus tents out front, and
Yeah,
the
it's
stage
massive
is
venue.
it's
Oh,
a
wow.
festival-sized stage set up at the end of the circus tents, still under the
Always
circus tent.
set up.
Always set up, yeah.
I guess they have a million events there. If like you have
Yeah.
LSU
Every
there.
I
got
bet
pretty
you
big
every
acts
time
for
we've been
sure.
there, it's been crazy.
Dude, you'd love to play drums there.
Oh yeah,
It's so good. The sound.
Yeah.
And they keep this massive sub under your ass.
right under you?
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like you almost bounce up
Oh.
whenever you hit the kick drum. You know.
So at the Barrel House, they used to hang their subs from the ceiling right when it first opened. I was like,
Wow.
hey guys, I don't know much, but I know that those subs need to be on the floor. You
Yeah.
know,
You need
like
to
hanging
shake
a
the
sub in the
floor.
air does not. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
So finally, they put them under the stage, and the first time I played and hit the kick drum, I was
Yeah.
like, yes.
Yeah.
It was like sitting on your kick drum.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than hearing that, especially
Oh,
a
I
good
love it
mix.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
And especially on a big stage like that. If you have a good mix where you can hear everyone.
Oh, yeah.
But you guys were using in-ears yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that to cut? Because I've thought of that. Because most places you go, if you set up like actual monitors,
Yeah.
you're squealing everywhere.
Yep.
It's kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
But since I don't play in like a band that plays all that, I just show up for gigs.
Yeah.
Mostly all the sound's already done, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bringing my own sound or anything like that.
Gotcha.
How much easier is that? Or is it more thoughtful work to have the in-ears, or is it easier without all the speakers?
It's you have to conceive of the things and get your mixes set and stuff up front. But like nowadays, like we have a digital mixer and everything's just saved on. I can run it from my phone or an iPad or whatever.
So there's not much difference between playing like say Chamacos and then you go down. Well,
Yeah,
you won't need
more-
it at.
Well, we're gonna.
consistent.
Yeah.
Right.
consistently hear yourself wherever
Yeah.
you go. You know,
No matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter the room. I
Yeah,
guess.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
as far
Cuts
as
out.
like so we're gonna play like the social on Saturday. We're gonna run our own sound there again.
Yeah.
And we'll like the in-ears hardly ever anything changes. If you're
That's
changing
good.
something,
See, I didn't know if
something
you'd
else
have
is
to
probably wrong.
adjust every time.
Yeah, nah.
If you don't, then that's great.
The front of house sound you do.
Sure,
You
yeah.
know, depending on like
Depending
yeah.
on the room or
Yeah.
if you're in a
Change
room.
my mix.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
said
I don't
never
really
mine.
change the.
Yeah.
The only time I found myself changing something on the mix is like when I'm like fighting something else that's wrong. Like
Yeah,
all
right.
of a sudden like that I can't hear my bass in the in-ears.
Yeah.
Well, it's because something was wrong with the signal in the bass, not the in-ears. You know. So I'm sitting there doing it. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to find the
How
problem.
much mix do you like? Do you get any drums in your mix?
I don't have any drums in my
Any of you
mix.
guys?
We got like 100% wet drums.
That's
He
it.
does, yeah.
Nothing else.
Well, when we first started with the click, I had to have drums in my mix.
Oh,
So I
right,
kind of
because
got
you
used
didn't
to
have
that
the
for a
click
little
yet.
bit, but I don't have it anymore.
They
but
used to share a mix.
We used to share a mix.
That's why he
Oh,
would have
gotcha,
that.
yeah.
That's right.
But they don't anymore.
And he cranks his drums.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
definitely
yeah,
does.
especially the toms, and snare.
Oh yeah. Well, and especially like when I do play with a click in the studio, it is literally beating my ears. It's like
Yeah.
tack tack tack.
yeah.
Because I'm playing drums, those are loud.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I get it. So yeah, like how deaf are you?
Yeah.
More than I'd like to admit,
I'm
really.
Man,
I mean,
when I
like
take
it-
earbuds out, it's like.
I had a massive headache last night because I had it louder than usual, which is really loud already.
I know,
I
it's
was
already
just-
at 11.
Yeah, it's at 11, and then I'm just like, headbang. So by the end of the night, my head's about to explode.
You're like, my brain is a jellyfish floating in this ocean of my head right now. On the circuit, like, besides Savannah, obviously,
Yeah.
what are your other favorite spots, like city-wise? Like, maybe not venue, but like, where do they treat you good?
Everybody pick one. What's yours?
I'd still say Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
That is hard
probably.
to beat. Yeah, that
And
was like
Statesboro is pretty good,
6,500
too.
people or something at Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
That place at Friends.
and everyone's super friendly. Well,
Yes,
especially
they're
in
into it.
the South is like that for the most part.
Right.
It's either friendly, like, hey, y'all are great, or
Yeah.
hey, y'all ain't very good, but I like you guys.
Yeah,
Like
it's
everyone's like sweet in some sort of way.
True, yeah.
I'd say Barrel House or Blue Room. Just because Blue Room, you go there, they're like, you want a drink? All right, well, we got you a 24-pack of Natty and whatever bottle of liquor you want.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Dang. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
by the
Barrel House,
front.
you walk in the door and they're setting up your sound. They're like, do you
Yeah.
want some
Yes.
drink?
Barrel
Yeah.
House is definitely a
Columbus, Georgia is really cool.
Yeah.
We play over there at this place called
Is-
The Loft.
Is there a college there?
There is
yeah.
some sort of college at Columbus.
But it's not
State.
really like a college town.
Nah,
More
where we
military.
played.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, it's more military. That's where Fort
Another Benning.
Benning.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Fort
right. That's
Benning.
like right on the border of Alabama, right?
Yep.
Right.
Oh, so you can
For
shoot
sure.
across there. And
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's pretty cool. Atlanta's, kind of always just fun to be in Atlanta
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, aisle 5 was awesome.
I really like. We played in South by Southwest a couple months ago, and Austin is just a really cool place.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, especially South by Southwest.
Yeah, that
Yeah, we
was-
do the Savannah Stopover Festival here, which is like literally a stopover for the bands that are playing at South by Southwest.
Cool.
But it's like 10 venues here, so they
Nice.
spread out all those bands.
Oh, that's
Oh,
sick.
cool.
That's
Yeah, so
awesome.
it's like because they know that these bands are kind of on tour, so before
Right.
they go to South by Southwest, they call it the
give 'em-
Savannah Stopover. They give
That's
'em-
awesome.
And because there's bands of different sizes in terms of like popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have venues of different sizes, so some of them
True.
will play the bigger places, and then some will play
Yeah.
like the smaller places.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
Like totally
And
awesome bar.
How long? How many months out of the year do you think are you like pretty much on the road?
We are out here. Like
Yeah.
a
Every
lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say most of the
This
time.
has been like the lightest year so far, barring COVID,
Yeah,
like
right,
that.
yeah.
But that we played because we've been working on this album. Really, I guess we didn't really play much in February, and we were getting ready for South by Southwest.
Yeah.
and
It's typically 100 or more dates per year.
Oh, that's
somewhere
great.
around 100, yeah.
And like southeast, like
Yeah.
not having to go like road dogging.
not yet.
Austin
like
was pretty far.
Austin, yeah.
Yeah, but we had a good run on the way out there. We did like Mobile and then Lafayette, Louisiana. That's another.
least you
cool
had some-
place.
yeah, we made it make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just
We're going
Austin and
to-
back.
Austin and
that's
back.
it.
Yeah. Well, we did that. Hey, so the first time we played South by Southwest, we went out there and played one show, stayed the night, turned around, and drove to Hilton Head.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's right.
From there, and we had to stop through Tallahassee because Jonathan was there with his other band Midnight Matinee, and they had like a ton of shows. We only had the
so
one.
you had to stop, do shows.
So he
get back
played, and we had to pick up a fill-in drummer on
Oh, no.
Tallahassee on the way back.
No
Yeah, I
shit.
played both
Huh?
South by Southwest and Red Gorilla.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
How long do you think you could tolerate being on the road at one given time, like as a group? Because that's an important thing. Like,
I think the longest stretch that we've done really is like 10 days,
That's probably
10, 11 days or something like that at a time. And that's, like the only thing that I don't ever get tired of these dudes. Maybe Gio, of course. But no, I'm just joking.
Heads a lot.
But yeah, like I don't think it's ever that. It's just more just being tired of sleeping in uncomfortable situations or whatever.
I would say, yeah, like a lot of it would depend on what, like the content of what you were doing and.
oh,
like,
well,
Yeah.
and the situation of like here, you get to stay with Benny, so you know you have a house to go
Exactly.
to.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the old days where they're like, all right, you're playing this venue. Here's like at least a comp for a hotel or like a
Right.
A
20
deal
person-
or
something.
Yeah, not
It
not
used to
very
be
much.
like that, but
Some
now,
places
like,
are still like that. But
there's
Yeah.
a few,
but
yeah.
Like last night, for instance, Chamaco's, they put us up across the street.
Well, see, so Mike that owns it, he used to play bass in a band that I was in.
Oh, okay.
cool.
He's a dope dude. He knows what's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
was in a band before.
Mike and
Right.
Matt both are so
Yeah.
awesome up there.
So yeah, he so Bob Benedetto from Benedetto Guitars,
oh,
he opened a warehouse here, and Mike was the contractor to build it.
Oh,
so he
okay.
comes from like all sorts of other industries.
Oh.
So he's a real like smart, sharp
Yeah.
guy.
He seemed like.
He got Bob Benedetto to build the first Benedetto bass for him
Oh, wow.
as a part of his trade for building this building for him.
Well, that's awesome.
So he's got a one and only Bob Benedetto bass. Mike Hall does.
whoa,
Holy shit.
that's super.
I meant to
sick.
mention that yesterday because Mike was there.
Yeah, he
I didn't know he played. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, us either. Yeah, he gave us.
That's dope.
some-
But see, he used to be a musician. He was in a touring band called Caravan. So he went to places that didn't provide hotels and things
Yeah.
like
Right.
that.
So he knows.
So he got y'all that place across the street.
Yeah.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah,
See,
that
man?
is so dope.
That's-
Yeah.
Yeah, some places
Shout
will
out
do
Mike.
it. Yeah, but yeah, for the most part, a lot of places
Even with
don't,
that,
yeah.
the 4 a.m., 5 a.m. nights every night
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
weigh on you.
gets
I
a
mean,
lot,
even if
yeah.
we don't play that late, we end
Yeah.
up staying up that late.
Well, yeah. Of course, yeah.
Anyways.
Even if because like
Yeah.
typically you're a nighttime thing for the most part. So you're
Yeah.
not going to go to bed before 4 just because you didn't play.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Right,
know?
yeah.
And like when we were out at South by Southwest, like every night we're out there trying to like meet other bands, network,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
totally.
Just be seen.
Yeah. And you're not going to walk around drinking water doing that.
No.
You know what
and
I mean?
then you gotta what is it, 2 drink minimum at every single bar, and they're just selling tall boys with Longhorn.
Lone Star.
Lone Star.
I haven't heard of Longhorn yet.
You got a steak with
I
that?
did that every bar out there. I was like, yeah, let me get
get a
2
Longhorn?
Longhorns, and they're like,
like,
what? I was like, 2 Longhorns, come on.
Sir, we don't have
I'm
Longhorn.
like, he wants a Lone Star.
Mike could translate for me all the
Step
time.
in. He wants a Lone Star.
Well, plug your stuff, guys. I found you on Spotify. Do you have a website?
Yeah,
Yes.
thebrowngoose.com.
TheBrownGoose.com. That
Don't
is
forget
easy
the
enough.
the.
Don't forget
Yes.
Yeah.
At the Brown Goose on Instagram.
at the Brown Goose on Instagram.
Pretty much any social media, it's at the Brown Goose.
Yeah.
And then the website thebrowngoose.com, and then you can also link to all our socials there. We have YouTube. We have some funny, well, we think they're funny cover videos that we did during
I'll
the
put
pandemic.
I'll put some of those links in the description
Cool.
of the YouTube video for this, but this will be on Spotify as well with the full
Awesome.
video.
Cool.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah, when I was looking at your guys' stuff today, pulling up music to use on this, I saw that you guys use the Spotify video
Oh yeah.
as
Did
well.
you do
So
that,
that's
Mike?
super dope that they
I
started.
started just kind of putting those together, like the little clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool. I saw some other bands doing that, and I was like, we
I
have so
noticed
much
that
footage,
like the
so-
other day too.
Yeah.
Like for the first time, I noticed that. I meant to say
It's dope they
something
let
to
you do it
about
because I put my other podcast on Spotify as full video.
Oh.
Also,
So-
check out our OnlyFans. We take our shirts off and do weird stuff.
You guys got Farmers Only as well?
FarmersOnly.com. Yeah.
Only bands.
Only bands.
Only mans with no shirts.
It'll be like shirtless cooking videos. and-
Mike cooking steak.
Shirtless ramen, man.
Natural light and all.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming and
Thank you.
job well done on that barrel house and that social club gig. You guys
Hey,
killed
thanks,
it, man.
man.
Thanks, man.
Hey,
All right,
yeah.
guys. Thank y'all.
Smash.
We'll
Thank
see y'all
you.
next time.
Yes, sir.
Well done, sirs.
Well done. You run such a beautiful podcast.
Yeah.
Meet me at the courthouse off of Jackson Bluff Road. Yeah, meet me at the courthouse, baby. We won't leave you out in the cold.